Testing, testing, one, two, three. Hello, and this is good evening to you. This is video 717. I was given the audio a minute or two to catch up. I've noticed that my laptop, which is supposed to be a pretty decent gaming laptop, but I'm pretty sure it's the bottom end, it kind of like the video pauses for a moment, so I thought I would let it catch up. And of course, you're going to catch the reflection in my glasses. Maybe if I do that, is that better? That way it doesn't reflect in my eyes. Uh, but anyway, welcome. This is Christmas, 2020, the year that just went on for a decade. And I want to talk a little bit. This is like what I want to call my first real Christmas, which is going to be kind of weird because you're going to be like, Robin, you're 49 years old. How in the hell is this your first Christmas? And I have to explain a little bit. My last Christmas that I had that I really enjoyed. Okay. I was in middle school, and it was my sixth grade year. My parents got separated. We were in seventh grade. And really, literally every Christmas since that, prior to them getting a divorce, has just sucked ass in some way or another. And I wasn't homeless. Although I was unemployed some years. I wasn't, I've never had like my life threatened in any way, shape, or form. But it just, as far as my mental capacity, they just sucked. They just sucked. There were years that, was transgender, and I kept it inside, and I was, quiet, and listening to my mom and my grandmother, sit there and talk about what lipstick went with what nail polish and everything, um, as they got ready for the Christmas picture. There were many years my family, when we got together as a group, we had the Christmas picture, and there I was in some monkey suit, three-piece suit and a tie, and it wasn't me, you know. And that all kind of came to a screeching halt when my folks got a divorce, and my dad kind of went out of his way to make me really hate my mom, and I have to claim responsibility for being a part in it, although I kind of was too young to know any better. And I didn't see my mom and my grandparents. I think I've shared in this video before. Last time I saw them was when I was like 14, and then the next time I saw them, I was like 22. So for a large chunk of my adolescent life, I didn't know them. So anyway, Christmas is after that. College, I was by myself. I was alone. I didn't want to go home. Uh, Once I kind of came out to myself and I knew what I was, and I was, living as a woman and whatnot, and then I have to go home for Thanksgiving and, wear the male drag and just, Christmases were just totally enjoyable. I didn't like them, and people didn't understand. I was, uh, in all sense and purposes, just a wallflower. I was dead to the world, and I would sit there through the Christmases that we did have on my dad's side of the family, and I would just sit there and it didn't matter. I didn't interact with people. I just wasn't alive. I was a walking corpse. When can I leave and go back? And then the other thing, my dad uh, kind of forced me to work on Christmas breaks. When I got older, I'd come home from college and I would work. And so it was like, Christmas was never really enjoyable. It was like, oh, I'm going to go home and work, Burger King, and then I'm going to come back to school. I never got a break. So Christmases really were not that great. And then as a young adult, kind of on my own again, this transition, do it, what I want to do, when do I want to be, you know, and then when I decided not to transition, and I went down the path of dating and getting married and everything, it was the same kind of thing. I was like on hold, is now a good time? Is now a good time to transition? I made mention too in the channel that when I met my ex-wife, we started dating. I was very honest with her. I said I'm transgender. I know that I'm transgender. I don't know when I'm going to do it. I may never do it, but I can't promise you that I won't. And so for years, it was just like I'm on hold. Okay, is this a good time? Is this a good time? Well, no. And then we were pregnant, and it was like, well, I can't transition now. I have a baby. I have to wait till my daughter's 18 so I don't mess up her life. And so just it just got worse and worse. There was not really a good Christmas. Even though there are aspects now that I can look back on my life as being a father and things that I was able to do with my daughter as a father daughter. My daughter's definitely a daddy's girl, and I do I do regret in some ways having to do away with daddy. Um, she was used to daddy. She was, she would have been a daddy's girl the rest of her life. I do regret that. But that said, 4 or 5 years ago, went through a divorce, transitioned. First couple years, that odd pupa stage. You don't know what stinks in the sandbox, what doesn't. You're coming to be who you are. You go through real life, and you do the thing. You have your surgery. I had my surgery, and then I lost my job. I was unemployed, and um, at Christmas when you're unemployed, you're like, okay, well, I want to buy Christmas presents for people, but I only have so much money for rent, and um, I never got unemployment. I didn't qualify for it. Uh, my companies gave me a stipend when I left because of all the time I was there, and I was just making too much money. I had enough money to live, but again, it's the same kind of thing. You're like, okay, I got to make this last. I can't do this. You're so preoccupied with survival, can't really enjoy. I couldn't really enjoy Christmas, and so last year was kind of getting on my feet. This year, I'm on my feet. Excuse me, I'm picking my nose. I'm on my feet. Things are going well. I'm beginning to rebuild my financial situation. I'm taking care of my daughter. Her needs are met. And today was like just perfect. I woke up and Katie was already awake. And it turns out she wanted to make breakfast. So she made breakfast. And I got a chance to just kind of sit on the couch, on the chair, excuse me, and watch the Christmas tree and watch it snow. And I just sat there and I'm like, is this perfection? Is this not is this as good as it gets? But this is what parents, this must be what I think. Cis parents feel. They get up and whether you're a mom or a dad, your kids want to make you breakfast. You let them make you. They can do it without blowing up the house, and they make you breakfast, and you sit and you have Christmas, and they open up presents, and you talk, and did it, did it, did it, did it, and then the rest of the day is just magical. You know, up until this point. Sorry, my put my glasses back on, angled. Uh, you know, Christmas was always, well, what are we going to do about money? We can't do this. You can't transition. We don't have the money, and what are you going to do? It was so. It was like a hard thing to swallow. You know. And then after we got divorced again, just how do we play this out? And so that's why I feel like this is kind of my first Christmas. Uh, this is Robin's, you know, I'm a woman. I wake up, my daughter, you know what I mean? It's like it's not had a hiccup throughout the day. And so that's why I just want to say record the video and just say, it may have taken me 49 years to get here, and I don't know if it'll continue next year. I hope it will, but I made it, and just kind of saying, thank you, God, thank you, Goddess, you know, I made it, I made it, and I'm thankful that number one, I'm thankful to make it. Um, and I'm also thankful that I have at least 4 more years, three or 4 more years to enjoy this. And then my daughter goes off to college, and then I'm kind of on my own, and so that's going to be kind of the video. I think we'll keep it short and sweet. Again, my first Christmas, and who knows what again, we never know what the future holds. Um, but and that's going to be it. So I'm going to close the video here. Uh, I certainly wish you the best of luck in your journey, the best of all of us, and we'll go on from there. So until next time, good luck, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.